This is your boy Phil from the Honda Resource, and today we're working on Cody's Integra. I know you guys probably haven't seen this car. If you have, it's just been sitting out the side of the shop. We've had this car, I don't know, a couple months or something, and it literally sat right outside the shop right here for a little while. Whew, look at that. Whew. But anyway, Cody bought this car. It was a K-swap ready shell, and we have a couple K-swaps laying around, and we've just got this K20A2 swap, 6V trans. You know, it's pretty filthy right now. We haven't cleaned it or anything. It came out of a wreck car, and we're gonna work on getting that into this chassis. What up, Cut?
What up, cuz? Gangs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Holla at your boy.
Yeah, so what's the plans with this car?
So look, we're putting a K20A2 in it, 6-speed transmission, AC, and it's gonna be for sale.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So if any of you guys know anyone looking for a R505P car, that's the color code this is, R505P. Granted, it's not, the paint's not in the best shape. That's gonna be the worst part of this car for sure, because the paint's pretty faded. But otherwise, the car's in good shape. I mean, it don't have any dents or dings or anything like that I know of. And it's pretty filthy right now because it's been sitting over there under a pecan tree that's like across the street over there. But it's got all of our cars pretty dirty from sitting over there. We've got all the front end parts and stuff to put back on it. And like Cody said, we're gonna put AC, heat, all that stuff on it. Should be a pretty sweet little cruiser. But also, check this out. We got a AP2 and an AP1. So there's some videos coming on the AP1. We actually just been putting a K20A2 in it, and then the AP1 is one that we bought to resell.
AP2.
I'm sorry, yeah, the AP2. It's a 2007 AP2. This car actually has 29,000 miles on it, so it's going to be pretty mint. It's dirty right now. It's been sitting. We're working out a few things with that and getting it serviced up and just back to immaculate, and then it'll be going up for sale. Still got the Dragon out here waiting on the stuff for the transmission to come back from having it super finished. So once we get all the stuff back from that, we'll start on the next project. I actually just picked up this EK hatch over here. I don't know if y'all could see it or not. I hadn't really put it out there yet, but we got this little EK hatch. It was actually gifted to the channel from my buddy Kurt, and we're gonna be starting on it at some point. I don't know when. It may be next year. Who knows? And we got Cody's Insight is also getting K-swapped, and that'll be coming out sometime in the future. Like I said, I don't know when. I've got to sell the Dragon first, so Dragon's going to be the first order of business once the transmission pieces come back in for that, and then we'll work on getting that sold. And once that sells, and then we'll get started on the EK. Also, a little shop update. We have been pre-approved for a shop, so just working out some other things with that too. Just basically waiting on the guy that well, what are we waiting on?
Waiting on the guy to tell us if he'll sell the building.
Yeah. So big things coming with that too. If once that comes into fruition, then I'm gonna quit working my 9 to 5. Well, I guess technically it's 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. and then start working on doing the Honda Resource full time. Hold on 1 second. All right, so as I was saying, we just had a car pull up, so that's why I had to stop for a second. We're in the process of getting a shop, so still working out some stuff. We've kind of been, like I said, we've been pre-approved for the shop, and you know, it'd be really nice to get all these cars out from over here, because like that's my house, you know, and like my shop's right here, and we got all these cars out here, and this is adjacent property to me, you know, and it's got so many Hondas out here, and it'd be just nice to get this stuff out from around my house, you know. And also recently I had someone steal one converter, a Kellett converter, and then they cut another one off to realize that it was empty. They actually cut it off of this RSX Type S. It's just got a factory converter on it, but it's just the guts have been knocked out of it, so they cut it off. Thankfully I was able to weld it back on. It's just frustrating, you know, and just I guess it's part of it, you know. I mean, I try to keep a close eye on this stuff, but it's just too many dishonest people in the world. But if you're willing to help us out with the shop or whatever, there's a donate link in the description. Not asking for you to do it, but if you did, I greatly appreciate it, you know. Also, the website's still undergoing the transition to the new domain provider. I will put a temporary link to the webpage in the description also if you're interested in buying any parts or merchandise or any of that kind of stuff. So anyways, we're gonna get back to swapping in this this K20. Put on some time lapse, let you guys see it.
Just like that. Show them, Philip. Gosh dang. Gosh dang. I have a K-swapped Integra. Hey, but hold on now. I think we're done with it. I'm done with this project. Fed up with it already. It's for sale, best offer. Yeah. Tired of it.
Half finished.
Half finished.
Literally, we bolted it in. It's half finished.
Half finished.
Yeah.
Gosh dang.
Yeah, so we just got some of the harness kind of dummied onto it already. Still got to finish putting the wires on it. Got the shift cables on it, and got it bolted in. The shifter is hooked up. It already had the hybrid no-cut shifter in it, so that saved us a little bit of time there. And it already had the actual mounts. Well, I had this one on here and the one on the subframe in the back. So, yeah, it's just making a little bit of progress. All right, guys, so it's actually a couple days later now from when me and Cody first started on this. We only worked on it a couple hours that first day, just got the motor basically bolted into the car, and then we had a set of RSX base axles, but for some reason I can't find them. Obviously my shop's trashed. All we could find was some RSX Type S axles, and we needed the base ones for the 32 millimeter hubs. And I thought they were in the back over here. I've got a few transmissions right over here, and one of those is a base RSX transmission that we took out of the blue car that's over on the other side over there. Is actually the one that I ran into with the Skeeter right here. God almighty! So I know we got a set of RSX base axles somewhere, but I just can't for the life of me find them or remember what I did with them. But anyways, I wound up finding an EP3 axle we had here from another car I parted out, and for the driver's side, so I went ahead and got that one in there, and then Cody just bought a new RSX base axle for the passenger side, so we went ahead and got that in too. Obviously I have cleaned it since we installed it. I took it out yesterday out here and degreased it and pressure washed it and got it looking pretty good. You know what I mean? It's not obviously a perfect spotless kind of deal, but it does look remarkably better than it did. So really what I want to work on today is getting the water pump housing back on. I'm not sure why they took it off before, but I want to try to get that back on, and maybe the alternator and the AC compressor mount, because we are going to run AC on this thing, and got to have the compressor mount and the compressor back on here. But we've got the yesterday I came out here and messed around with it for a little bit, and I got some of the old tubing and stuff off of here that like went to the brake booster and evap stuff, all those little pipes and stuff off to where the harness could actually run through here like it's supposed to. This harness was already on this car, so the tape job's not the best on it. I'm probably going to redo the harness after we get it running, put some fabric tape like I did on my all-wheel drive car on here. I ordered a little bung here to put the temp sending unit in. I'm assuming that's what they had this run for the gauge. So we'll take out this idle valve here, and then or whatever this is, I don't remember what this is, some kind of thermo valve. That's what it is, thermo valve. We'll take this thermo valve out, and this adapter basically goes in right here, and then the factory style temp sending unit would go in that. And then we also ordered a fuel rail, and let's see, we ordered fuel rail and pressure regulator and some hoses to adapt it over to the factory fuel filter there. And then so once those parts come in, we should have the majority of everything we need. I went ahead yesterday and put the the booster hose on. It was already on the car. Like I said, this car was previously case swapped. One thing I did notice is the throttle cable isn't correct, so I'm gonna have to try to find a throttle cable in the shop somewhere. I mean, we've got all kinds of stuff in here, so surely there's one in here somewhere. I swapped out the throttle body yesterday because the TPS was busted on the one we had on this motor, and so this throttle body actually came off of another K20A2 we have here. So I went ahead and got that swapped out, and got the heater hoses on. I had to shorten those just a smidge. I'm not sure which motor they had in this. Maybe it was a K20A2 or something the other style head, like with the RBB head or something like that. Not the PRB like this one. So the coolant lines were a little too long, so I had to shorten those. And then like I said, I got most of the harness mounted up the other day. I've still got to get the charge harness to put on here. I'm not sure if he even has one. If not, I can make one, whatever, no big deal. But right now I want to concentrate on getting this water pump housing on, and trying to get some more of this stuff up here situated. Alright guys, so it's actually several days since we worked on this Integra, but I'm just going to try to finish out this video real quick. We did get in the fuel rail from Jack Spaniel Racing, as well as fuel pressure regulator and the coolant temp sending unit. So we got all that in place. We got the fuel line in over here. I did get the alternator and water pump mounted. Still got to put on the thermostat, the charge harness, and this is EP3 harness apparently that was on this car. So I'm going to convert the evap solenoid wiring over to be a lockout, and then change the pin out on the ECU connector in there. Pretty much the fuel system is complete. Just got to run the line from the bottom of the regulator down to the line down here, and then plumb in the vacuum source. We're going to tee that in to the booster hose and call that good. So for the most part, everything big up here is done. We still got to put on like the clutch slave cylinder, coolant lines, radiator, and still waiting on the AC lines, because we got to get the AC lines in order to run the AC on this thing. So as soon as we get a few more parts in for the AC and stuff, I'll get this swap wrapped up, and we'll do that on a separate video. But for now, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope to see you on another episode. So if you will, please like the video, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace. All right, let's go take the old pumpkin eater for a rip, see what she'll do. Maybe we can go down through our trail over here. Take it for a loop real quick. Look at these Prelude seats. Ah.